All right, well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to GeoTalks. Patrick gave a very nice introduction there. My name is Mackenzie Mills, and I'm the next presenter here, and I'm from Blue Marble Geographics. I am a product manager, and I work primarily on the Global Mapper desktop and Global Mapper mobile programs. So today, I will be going over Global Mapper Mobile, sort of what is this mobile app? It's available on iOS and Android, and how might it be used in the field in a workflow, and how might it be relevant to your work. So hopefully you'll learn a little bit about Global Mapper Mobile, and if you haven't already tried out the app, pique your interest and try it out. So I'll dive right in here. We're talking about Global Mapper Mobile. Now, Global Mapper Desktop is probably the most known program from Blue Marble Geographics here. And Global Mapper Mobile is an extension of that for field work. It allows you to take map data that you've prepared or done some analysis on in Global Mapper Desktop into the field on a mobile device, a smartphone, or a tablet. As I mentioned, Global Mapper Mobile is available on iOS and Android operating systems. So you're able to sort of have that map data, that GIS data in your pocket, pull it out in the field, see your location on the map, look at vector, raster, and elevation data, and use it for reference or adding data to your map. Global Mapper Mobile is actually a free download from the app stores, the iOS App Store and the Google Play Store. That free version of the app gets you loading data, creating some data using the GPS internal location services of your phone, and some other great features. So I'll just run down a short list of those here. As I mentioned, you can load raster data, vector data, and elevation display. With the free version of Global Mapper Mobile, data is loaded from a proprietary Global Mapper Mobile package format, and that's something that you can create and export from the Global Mapper desktop application. So you can use all your own data. It's very data-driven, just like Global Mapper Desktop. That Global Mapper Mobile package format efficiently packages up all of those data types and allows you to view them all together on your mobile device. And you also have the ability to open a control center and toggle layers on and off, just like you would in Global Mapper Desktop. The free version of the app uses the internal location services of your mobile device to display your GPS location. And you can also use that location to create features on the map. So you're able to create point, line, and polygon features with a variety of methods, whether that's using your finger to tap at a specific place on the map or draw a line, or again, using that GPS location, which is probably more common when you're collecting data in the field, where you tap the screen and it's dropping a vertex or a point feature at that GPS location, wherever it is on the map. You can edit existing vector features, those that were created in Global Mapper Desktop or imported from another file there. You can view those attributes, edit those attributes, add information, and you can do the same for vector features that are created in the field in the mobile app as well. Additionally, you're able to view those attributes, you can record new attributes, and we have some longer form feature notation areas where you can add longer form notes on a particular feature in the field, and even record an audio note and attach that to the vector feature, have that export with your map so you can share a little bit more detail easily that way. Another way to collect data in Global Mapper Mobile is with some images. You're in the field, you have a smart device, a tablet or a smartphone that has a camera, so why not utilize that, snap a picture of something in the field. You can add that as an attribute to a feature, an existing or one that you've just created in the field, or create a specific picture point type feature, which is essentially a point feature that primarily holds that image, and it will appear on the map at the location of that image. All those images and audio notes can be packaged up with the map and shared to other Global Mapper mobile users, or back to the Global Mapper desktop, where you can open that data and perform further analysis and utilize it however needed. Lastly, with the free version of the app, you can stream in some online data. You can stream some OpenStreetMap data. That is our free source provided with the free version of the app. It provides just a global reference, getting a little bit of reference data of local features into your map so that you can view your location in that context or start creating features with a little bit more information. Now, there is a subscription version of the app, and that would be an add-on. Once you download the free app, you can register the Pro version. We're following sort of the same standard and Pro levels that we have with the desktop app. And that Pro version of the app, for a yearly subscription at a nominal fee, unlocks some additional features that can really enhance the data collection and use of the app in the field. So the biggest feature with the Pro version of the app is probably the ability to connect to external GNSS units via Bluetooth or a TCP port connection. And that, of course, increases the accuracy of the data that you're collecting with a GPS signal. You can also apply RTK corrections. Global Mapper Mobile Pro has a built-in Ntrip client where you can log into a known RTK correction source, apply those corrections to the data that is being collected from that external GNSS device to create, really very accurate data that you're collecting and creating in the field all through this mobile app. Pro also unlocks simultaneous feature creation, so you can be recording a track log and dropping points of interest along that track. So creating multiple features as you're going along there. And then we've got some analysis tools in the mobile app as well. There's sort of light versions of analysis that's available in Global Mapper Desktop. We've got Viewshed creation for sort of a line of sight analysis, volume calculation based on loaded terrain and a closed polygon feature, and then contour line creation. So just creating a derivative of the loaded terrain that you have maybe in your map, allowing you to view that in a different way with those benchmark contour lines. Pro also allows you to reproject data if you need to change the look of your map, change the coordinate system in which you're working. And lastly, expands file format support, so GeoPDF import and GeoPackage export and import. These expand the supported file formats from just that Global Mapper mobile package to some other formats that are commonly found and used to package up data for use on smaller mobile devices. So next I'll go into a few use cases now that we know a little bit about Global Mapper Mobile, and talk about maybe some ways that it could be used in the field, some common workflows, and ways that it might be useful to you. So we're going to go over a short workflow on collecting ground control points, what that might look like. Those ground control points can be used for a variety of things once collected. We'll go over a workflow where you're taking a map, you're preparing it, and then you're deploying it not just to one person or to yourself to take into the field to collect some data, but deploying it to a team of people that might need that reference map in the field for whatever reason. And then lastly, we'll go over a workflow where you're in the field, you've got Global Mapper Mobile, and you just want to collect some data. Maybe you're not doing the map preparation, you're starting right in the mobile app, collecting some data to then use for further analysis or to inform some decisions in the future. So first off, we've got the collection of ground control points. Ground control points can be used for a wide variety of things. They're very valuable pieces of data, especially when they are, very accurate. The accuracy can, of course, be increased using using an external GNSS unit connected to Global Mapper Mobile Pro, and especially if you're applying RTK corrections, if those are available to you. Ground control points can be used to rectify imagery. They can be used to QC some elevation data. Maybe elevation is the important attribute that you're collecting here. They can also be used, a common workflow is to use these ground control points with drone collected imagery that you can load into the Pixels to Points tool in Global Mapper Desktop, utilize those control points in that process of taking those drone images and creating an accurate, rectified point cloud and ortho image and 3D mesh layer. So lots of ways that those control points are very valuable Global Mapper Mobile gives you an easy way to collect those points in the field, all within the Global Mapper ecosystem of products. So this workflow starts in Global Mapper Desktop. You're preparing your map, you're loading any base data, maybe some reference imagery, maybe reference elevation. If you're, doing a drone flight as you're collecting these ground control points, maybe the flight line or the bounds of your flight, any relevant vector features, roads, or different line work. You package all of that data up into a Global Mapper mobile package, that GMMP format. That's imagery, vector, elevation, and even point cloud data can be packaged into that format. And you transfer that to Global Mapper mobile. So that transfer, once you've saved that file, that can be done via the mobile data management tool in Global Mapper Desktop. That allows for a wireless transfer to and from a mobile device that's on the same local area connection. You can also share these maps via email, via a shared drive or a cable transfer, pretty much any way where you're transferring a file from a desktop or a laptop to a mobile phone or tablet. We're just getting that file from one to the other, because once it is on that mobile device, you can open that map in Global Mapper Mobile. The app will recognize the GMMP format. You'll be able to load that map in. It will appear on your maps list to reopen it once you've made some changes, maybe saved, closed, and come back to it. And once that map's open, you can begin your data collection. You've got reference data now in the mobile app open, you're seeing your area, you're seeing maybe the bounds of your drone flight or your area of interest. And then you can connect to that external GNSS device, set up a connection to some RTK corrections, and start collecting control points. When collecting control points, probably the most useful method for creating point features is going to be the second method that we're seeing in the screenshot on screen now, which is GPS tap. This means anywhere you tap on the screen, Global Mapper Mobile will drop a point at the GPS location. Along with that point that's dropped, some automatic attributes are going to be created, reporting accuracy and various other statistics from the connected device or the internal location services of the mobile device. You can see here that there are a variety of other feature creation methods here in Global Mapper Mobile. We're showing the point feature creation menu right now. We've got the manual tap, which is a point's created right where your finger hits the screen. GPS auto distance and auto time drop points at a regular interval based on a configuration setting. You can add pictures from this menu and then create strike and dip points as well. Now, the manual tap, GPS tap, and auto time and distance methods are all available for for line feature and area feature creation as well. So once you've gone through this workflow, you've done your work in your field, you've collected those control point locations, you've added attributes, named them, identified them, maybe with a numeric system, so that you know what you're going to be looking at when you load that data back into Global Mapper Desktop. You save your map and you export it back to the desktop or share it with the next person who needs this data in your workflow. You save that map right to the mobile device. We can see a short video on screen playing now showing that save process. We've got a few different save options to include or disinclude hidden layers, maybe layers that you might not need to save and share with the next person in your workflow. And once that map's saved to your mobile device, you can transfer it just the same ways that you would have transferred it to the mobile device via email, a cable transfer, shared drive, or using that mobile data management tool right in the Global Mapper program. Once that data is back in Global Mapper Desktop, you've got all these new vector features, these ground control points that have accuracy attached to them, they have a location, and you can utilize them however necessary, whether it's with drone collected images and pixels to points or rectifying other data or just as a reference to your work. So the next workflow that I'm going to run through here is talking about some golf course management. And this is a more specific use case that is talking about creating a map and then deploying it out to a team of people. So greenskeepers, maintenance crew maybe that may not need to add data to the map, but it's great for them to have this data in their pocket, in their hand, um, with attributes attached to various vector features on the map, like different hole numbers for a golf course, maybe the area of each green, so they know how much product fertilizer that they may need to add to it in order to care for that. You can have information about vegetation, and those folks can also add features to the map. That is a function available in Global Mapper Mobile if there are specific areas of the course or the land that's being managed that needs some maintenance for any reason. So for this workflow, we're starting sort of in the same place. We're starting in Global Mapper Desktop. We're preparing that map. We're loading all of those relevant vector features, maybe some imagery or base terrain that could be useful to anyone who's looking at that map in the field. And here we're using the mobile data management tool to package up that map, create that GMMP, that mobile package file format. This data can then be emailed or uploaded to a shared drive to allow other folks to access it. So email is a great way to distribute something to a larger number of people, or just making this file available on a shared drive where anyone who needs it can pull it down onto their mobile device and look at the map in Global Mapper Mobile. Once we're looking at the map in Global Mapper Mobile, we're seeing that this map is zoomable, pannable. Folks can turn layers on and off. So we can see in this map in particular, we've got quite a few layers describing various features in this golf course. And we can toggle those layers on and off, show and hide them. We've got the elevation shaded by a gradient here. And we can also tap on any of these vector features with the digitizer tool to select them, and then a second tap on that selected feature is going to open the attributes. This is where we'd go to edit any existing attributes that are attached to vector features, or just view the attributes to get more information about the feature that I'm looking at on this map. So this is a really great way to provide maps as a reference to folks in the field. They just need to look at this data. They may not need to edit it, but it's a really dynamic way of interacting with that map on a small screen, and then maybe even displaying your GPS location in reference to those vector features and various land features around you that are captured in the map. The last workflow that I will go over here is working on some trail maintenance or any sort of management maintenance where you may need to collect some data in the field. In this use case example, we're not starting in Global Mapper Desktop. We're going to start right in Global Mapper Mobile. Say you're out, you're in the field, you're doing some work, and you note something that needs maintenance, or you need to throw a track log down of a new trail or road that you're surveying. Global Mapper Mobile allows you to do that from scratch, so creating that map from nothing, essentially. So like I said, we're starting just in the mobile app this time. We're not starting on desktop. We don't have any data prepared. We don't have any reference data that we have or may need to create this map. We can create a map from scratch, but it's nice to get a little bit of context in there. And so on the home screen of the Global Mapper mobile app, we have an option for online basemap. Tapping this option will load in some streamed data, provided that you have a Wi-Fi or cellular data connection around your current GPS location, whether that's something from an external GNSS unit or just the internal location services of your phone. So you've got some reference data now in your map streamed from an online source. Now, for the free version of Global Mapper Mobile, the available online source is going to be OpenStreetMap data. That's what we're showing on screen here, and that is the default for this online basemap option. But with Pro, you get a whole host of additional built-in online sources that more closely match the online source list that you're going to see in Global Mapper Desktop. And you also have the ability to add custom online sources with the Mobile Pro version. You can change what source is associated with this online basemap option in configuration. So maybe you don't want to be looking at OpenStreetMap data, you want to load some elevation data by default, or you want to load imagery. You choose any available online source and it will load for your local area with that online basemap option. So that's starting the creation of your map. Once you've created that map, you've got your location displaying, you're looking at the area of interest, you can use a line feature creation mode to create a track log along a trail. You can use the simultaneous feature creation to drop points of interest for things that need maintenance. Perhaps there's a tree down, or some other issue with the area that you want to capture and make a note about. Drop a point feature as you're creating a track log. You can also capture pictures of anything of interest in the field, add those straight to the map, and save all of that to your map on Global Mapper Mobile. That map will be saved on the mobile device. You can, of course, reopen it, add to, edit it, and then share it from Global Mapper Mobile to Global Mapper Desktop, or to a colleague or a client that may need this information. Additionally, in Global Mapper Mobile, I do want to touch on the field data analysis options that we have. So I mentioned we've got volume calculation, viewshed creation, and contour lines. Here we're looking at some of the results of that viewshed creation and the contour lines. Now, all three of these analysis methods are based on loaded elevation data. So you're going to have to prepare that data and have that data layer in the map in order to use these, but it provides a way to just get a little bit more information from your map while you're in the field. So viewshed analysis can be done based on a selected point or your GPS location. Wherever you are, you can analyze what you're seeing based on some basic parameters. And then contour lines will run for the elevation data that is loaded in the map. It allows you to create those benchmark contour lines, and you can then turn off that shaded elevation layer, which may make some vector features or imagery more visible on that mobile map, and still see those elevation reference as those line features. So quite a bit of value in creating those contour lines quickly in the field as well. So that brings me to the end of this information session here on Global Mapper Mobile. I hope that maybe you learned something. If you're not using Global Mapper Mobile, maybe you're interested in checking it out. As I mentioned quite a few times, it is a free download from the iOS App Store or the Google Play Store. So go ahead and download it. And if you're interested in some of those pro features, it is just a yearly subscription to unlock those features and have access to some of that advanced functionality. So thank you everyone for listening, and thank you for attending GeoTalks. I believe that we are going to take some questions if there are any at this point.
Yes, absolutely. I've got one question to start, Mackenzie, and that one is are there limitations to what GNSS receivers can connect to the app? For example, we have an MLID reach receiver. Are these compatible with the app?
Yeah, so the MLID Reach is compatible with Global Mapper Mobile. The newer Reach RX is currently whitelisted with iOS. Just a little background, Android tends to be a little more open with what external devices you can connect to an app via Bluetooth. iOS is a little bit more locked down. So I believe that any available device should be able to connect to Android. iOS, the new MLID that they tout as having iOS support, does work with Global Mapper Mobile, and then there are a few other vendors as well, Bad Elf and Trimble through their Trimble mobile management app, and a few others. If you guys are running into a device that you may have that you want to work with Global Mapper Mobile, you're having trouble with that, or it's not connecting on Android or iOS, I always encourage folks to reach out to our technical support. We've got a wonderful technical support team here at Blue Marble Geographics, happy to answer your questions about this topic or any other.
Awesome. Thank you so much for answering that, Mackenzie. Our next question is we've got someone named Kyle wondering if there's any support for Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. I'm not sure what the use case would be for that, but it's a question.
I do not believe that we have support for CarPlay at this point. You can set up, of course, before you start driving, that automatic distance or time and be recording a track log as you're driving. Definitely recommend pulling over to do any additional messing with the phone, but no explicit CarPlay support at this point.
Awesome. And another question, I think you touched on this during your presentation, but I've got someone wondering how long they can use Global Mapper Mobile freely to learn, and I believe the answer to that is that the app is free and that there
Yes,
are
the
additional mobile pro features.
Yep, the base version of the app is completely free. You get it for free for as long as you want to use that standard base version. If you want those pro features, that is a yearly subscription. I believe the price on that is $50 for the subscription, so not a huge fee on that, but the free version is 100% free. So definitely encourage you to try that, and if it works for you, then go for it and use it.
Absolutely. And we've added that link to Global Mapper Mobile in the chat so people can check it out, download it, all of that fun stuff. Got another question for you, Mackenzie. What is the accuracy we can get when using the app after getting RTK corrections? Is it device dependent?
Yeah, so it is device dependent. It depends on the accuracy of that external GNSS device and the corrections. If you can get a good lock on those RTK corrections, you can, get centimeter like survey grade data being collected. But it does very much depend on the resources that you have available, whether you have a strong connection to that RTK correction that's being applied. So not a straightforward answer on that one. It is fairly situational and fairly dependent on what you have available.
Awesome. Have a few more questions for you. We've got someone wondering, can the software import DXF files?
So Global Mapper Mobile can't import DXF files. We do not support the wide range of file formats that the desktop Global Mapper supports. And the reason for that is that the mobile devices, well, storage is much larger than it used to be even a few years ago. Um, we're trying to keep that process simple for working on the mobile device. The work of preparing all your data, importing that DXF, DWG, any of the formats that are supported in the desktop would be done on the desktop side, and then you would package all that data up into a mobile package format to share it with the mobile device. This makes it so that you can have, multiple files all packaged together. They'll retain that layer structure that you'd see in Global Mapper Desktop, and be available on the mobile device that way. So short answer is no, we don't support that format on mobile, but there is a way to get that data onto mobile. You just have to do a little preparation and data organization in the desktop application.
Um, what is the basic difference between between the standard version and the pro version of Global Mapper Mobile?
That's a great question. So the standard version for the GPS location display and feature creation, you're using the internal location services of your mobile device. Those tend to be a little bit less accurate. Um, so you're not getting quite as accurate data that you're getting collected there. There's a limitation on how many available online sources you have. You don't have that simultaneous feature creation for creating a track log while dropping some points, and a few other features there. The big selling points for the Mobile Pro, the main reasons why we see people upgrading are that connection to an external GNSS device and access to that Entrip client for RTK corrections. That's going to greatly boost the accuracy of the data you're collecting. So if you have that hardware available to connect to, and you have an RTK correction source to log into, you probably want Pro in order to take advantage of that. Also, just the expanded list of online data sources. So the ability to stream some imagery in, even create some custom online sources to stream in, just like you would in Global Map for Desktop. So those are the big points, although there are smaller features that Pro unlocks as well.
All right. Thank you so much, Mackenzie, and thank you for your great session. We're really excited to see what people do with Global Mapper Mobile this year. And in the meantime, we're going to welcome our next speaker, who is the 2024 Global Mapper Master winner, Simon Brown, presenting on mapping the SS Thistlegorm. So thank you so much, and get ready for Simon's session.
Thank you so much for having me, Meg.